It's time for ignition and straight up automobile pimping.
Dudes and dudettes, welcome back to the Dude, Where's My Car podcast. I'm your host, Tom, and I have my lovely co-host with me, the man who bags every single car in Sydney, the master of the Shaolin, Mr. Tony Hong. How you going, brother?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm going well, man. I'm going to dig into today how well I'm freaking doing today. I've been in the car for like 6 hours. And today, Tones, we've got a bit of a special episode, man. We're in a bit of a different setting.
Yep. It's us going to someone else, not them coming to us today.
It is a bit different. I think we've only done this once before we did.
And that was around the corner.
Yeah, it was around the corner.
We could walk there.
A little bit easier. Today, everyone watching or those listening, we are in a very different location. We're in the heart of cholesterol. We're in a very pink establishment. And today, Tony, you and I are joined by arguably some of the most stylish, flamboyant, cool, stylistic, the words can go on, but some of the masters of what I believe to be car culture in Sydney, if not Australia. 100%. We've got Simon Mark. How you going?
Good. Yeah, doing well, man. Doing well. That was a massive show. Intro was awesome, and then when you guys were speaking, what did you say? You said bags, all the, and I thought, was he going to say girls here, or was he going to say cars here?
I don't know, Tony, do you want to clarify that one?
Oh, we'll leave that for another time. There's too much to get into today.
Pretty much every single question I have for Tony every single week is what's going on in his workshop, because it's him and his old man, and it's just basically spanners being thrown around the entire room with some of the sickest customer queries coming along the way. Guys, I'm so happy you are both here. I've been wanting to do this podcast with you since the moment you opened up this shop last year, almost a year ago?
July. 10th of July we opened.
10th of July.
How's that feel?
Yeah.
Is that a memory, or do you have that tattooed somewhere?
No, that's like burned in my brain. Honestly, that was the most stressful day of one of the most stressful days of my life, but also pretty rewarding. Like it was wild.
That was a long process to get there.
It was. And look, full disclosure, I hadn't made donuts for like 2 years before we opened the shop. I had a piece of equipment rock up a day before we opened that was like crucial to making it. And I'm like, just please work. But no, it went well, man. Everything sort of took off, and it's been a journey.
I think you guys have really sort of set the tone about car culture and like maybe a place to come to in Sydney and whatnot. But when you first hear it, no one really thinks, oh yeah, we're going to combine a donut shop with a whole bunch of cars and workshop and just throw that together. Like, how does that idea even fathom to come to the mind?
It's honestly a confusing place, because we get phone calls on a daily basis asking for pink slips. And so I guess the warehouse itself, we had the warehouse for years before the actual donut shop, but the goal was always to bring Simon's Donuts into the space. Simon came to me sort of 10 years ago, and he just got back from Salt Lake City, and he basically said, try this donut. And I've tried this donut. I've gone, fuck, dude, that's the best donut I've ever had in my life. And then every year he would come back with a recipe change, and it would just scale up and up and up. And I'm just like, okay, we've got to do something. And so having this space already and sort of already having the majority of it already fit out was handy. But then it was just a hassle trying to get, I guess, through the bureaucracy of it all, the having a town planner on board, even the architect expenses, and then getting council approval. It was really difficult because this whole area is zoned residential, even though it's clearly, a warehouse, right? And so it took about a year-long process to get that through, and then 6 months of building. And then, it's pretty awesome to see that we're sort of getting closer to a year now, and what we've been able to build is obviously a business out of it, but it's so much more than a business. I mean, this is a place where people can connect. This is a place where you get guys, girls that are riding motorbikes, cars, bicycles, families with kids. And the whole idea from the start was, how do you build out a space that everyone feels comfortable at. I don't want this to be a car place. I don't want this to be a motorcycle place. I want this to literally be a place for everyone, irrespective of what they're into. And so even earlier today, we were looking at a lady playing the Daytona with her kid and some little baby that was obviously a second child running around just touching everything. And it was cool to see. I mean, these people have no interest in cars whatsoever. And at the same time, you've got a whole bunch of older guys that were here that are a part of a car club that finished off one of their drives here, and sort of, you know, you've got these 70 and 80-year-olds in all these old-timer cars, and then you've got this young mum with her 2 kids, and I think that's what the space is. It's a space for everyone, and it's what people want it to be is what it is. If they're bored and they want to come here, great. If they just want a donut, great. If they want to come and chew the fat, sweet.
Yeah. Let's be honest, you back it up with the donuts. Like, that's for sure.
That's all, Simon. We'll let Simon talk about his donuts. It may come across egotistical.
No, I mean, I worked really hard on them, and I have no background in baking or anything really. So it was just, I don't even know how I got it to this point, if I'm being perfectly honest, because it was always just, I'll just teach myself how to make a donut and see where it goes. And then, you know, when Mark mentioned I was lived overseas, like I moved home and I'd make them, I'd take them to friends, I'd give them to work, and I'm like, and that, you know, they'd give me compliments. I'm like, oh, you're my friends. You kind of have to say that, right? So, but then like when COVID hit, we started doing a market, and the first market I did, I sold out in 45 minutes. So I'm like, okay, maybe they are okay. Like they're a decent donut. And then pretty much every market after that, I would sell out. So like, yeah, there was something there, and obviously Mark saw it too, and like, we looked for, actually, he didn't mention it, but we looked for ages to try and get a space to do something together. It wasn't always going to be what it is now.
Yeah.
But obviously it's worked out for the better because this is awesome. But like initially my business was Simon Says Donuts. And then like we were just going to try and look for a little cafe to lease or something. Excuse me. But yeah, and for whatever reason, we never got a lease on a place. Either they didn't want food in there, or the real estate agent would just not get back to you. So it's like we probably wasted, a good couple of years trying to find a place. And then Mark got hold of this place, and then it's like everything sort of just came together. It's like, yeah, this is the spot. This is going to be ground zero. Like, let's do everything here. Everything we like under one roof, you know?
And this is literally the spot that I wanted for 15 years. This warehouse specifically in this exact location. This warehouse has been the one that I've wanted for 15 years. So during COVID, because it's in a cul-de-sac, it's in a dead-end street. I've always, I guess, been fixated on living in a dead-end street. And since I don't live in a dead-end street, it was pretty cool to be able to nab this specific warehouse. But I used to have a mechanic friend that was at the end of this street. That's why I was familiar with this street. But ultimately, I wanted a dead-end street because I know that you get to play that little bit more freely outside of council, outside of police. And, you know, it's great that we've got their support, and, you know, police come here often. We've become friends with them. So it's like a no defect zone, which is great because some of these cars clearly are defectable at multiple levels.
Funny story. I had one of my mates is in highway patrol, and he rocked up the other day. And we have a group of regular customers that come down in their cars, and I'm like, I said on the side of it, mate, I said, oh, check out their cars and just give them a little bit of a scare. And he starts looking, but he starts looking a bit too much. I'm like, dude, don't be a dick. Like, they're really good customers. Just leave them alone. It's like,
don't ruin my business, please. I'll never come back.
So he's spanning their donuts.
Sorry, Paul.
We didn't. But yeah, this was the warehouse that I always wanted, and then being able to get it, it was because we wanted those parking spots off the street. Marrickville is such a busy area to be able to fit 4 cars plus another 4 behind it. It was like, yeah, this is perfect for the guys that work upstairs. This is perfect for once we open up the donut shop. And, you know, I'll be fair and I'll be honest, it did take a little while for Simon to come around to changing the name. He was pretty adamant in Simon Says Donuts.
It did.
He liked the alliteration to it. It had nothing to do with the fact that it had his name in it.
Nothing to do with
nothing at all.
Nothing to do with the Pharaoh Mod song at all. Nothing like that.
I don't even know what song that is.
I know exactly what song it is.
Get the fuck up.
Yeah.
Simon says, get the fuck up. Throw your hands in the sky.
That's your next intro, man.
It should have been.
Next season, dude. You got this covered.
It took a while for that to come around, but like, ultimately, it had to be done.
It was the right move.
Yeah,
it was the right move. We want this space to be a space that is all of our interests. So motorbikes, cars, donuts, coffee. Yeah. It's a pretty simple formula, I guess. Pretty simple recipe. I think the formula is a little bit harder because we need to get this out to more people. Like, there are still so many people that come across us on socials and they're like, what? We had no idea this place even existed. Like, you get people that are just walking to the brewery behind and they've taken a wrong move and they're like, what the fuck is going on here? I just feel like I've found this space in some backstreet of Japan, which is cool because, I mean, we've all had that vibe in Japan and love that. But ultimately, these are car enthusiasts that end up here and they didn't even realize it existed.
Yeah. Well, we're trying our hardest.
Work harder.
I feel like every man and their dog is coming here and doing videos and like trying to like, guys, you need to come here. It's the best.
It's super cool. It's super cool meeting so many awesome people as well. Like seeing that level of passion, which is, you know, the passion that we have, but also the passion that we had when we first started getting into cars. Like I first met Simon when I was 18 or 19. I ended up buying a white RX-7, which had the number plates lawnmower, which was pretty funny because it was Bridgeported. It smelt and sounded like a lawnmower. So we've been playing with rotaries since literally I was 19 and you were 20.
We got photos of, like, we used to strip them like no tomorrow too because they were worth nothing. So, but we got photos of literally at the front of his house, like the car tipped on its side just to pull the diff out. Like it's
I just found those photos today.
Yeah,
so
Can we have it?
yeah, sure.
No, literally,
sure.
people. We had a 2x4 piece of timber holding the car on its side because it was so much easier taking a diff out with the car sideways than going underneath it. And literally, people would just be driving past, going, "What the fuck?" And they would think that there was an accident or something.
Or you're
But
trying
it
to
was
steal the
literally
car.
Stripping
Yeah,
the car.
yeah, just stealing the diff. But we stripped. Yeah, we probably stripped a heap to the point where we had the guys at Pack Performance calling us for parts for RX-7s, and then you fast forward 20 years, and in hindsight, you sit there and go, "Fuck, we were assholes. We ruined so many beautiful cars. That's worth 20 grand now, 30 grand now."
Dude, we had some mint, like I'm talking mint RX-7s that we just, because they were just worth nothing. And now that I'm actually like building on the behind me, like I need good parts. Like, and it's like, hindsight's a wonderful thing, but we had sheds like full of parts.
Yeah.
And just didn't care.
Yeah, we'll make your money back. Then,
Yeah,
so
like it's
it's
fine. We made money on it, but like the amount of good parts we had too, I was like,
Plus, how would you know that JDM cars would turn into a full-blown house deposit?
I know.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty wild. I think we're sort of lucky with a lot of the cars that we've got here as well because, you do get people that come in here and go, "Oh, donuts must be paying lots." So we're always like, "Yeah, we sell drugs," and we just keep a straight face and they believe us, and it's so funny. But a lot of the vehicles that we bought were cheap. They were before COVID, and the stuff that we've had for years. Yeah. So, like, some of these cars we spent 15, 20 grand on, and they're worth 50, 60, 70 grand. You wouldn't be able to build them for less than 100. But that was the benefit of, I guess, having the space to be able to house these vehicles. And we sit there now and go, well, even though we could get good dollars for certain vehicles, you sit there and go, there's no point in selling it because we can't afford to buy it again. No. So you just hold on to what you've got.
I can't justify buying them again either. Like for example, I got a 20B Cosmo at home. I paid 16.5 grand for it in 2019.
Yeah,
like there's no way. And I know I've heard of someone buying one for 90. I'm like, nah, I couldn't. Can't justify it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a great car, but they're not worth that money. In my opinion,
it's not 90 grand.
No, because they don't work half the time.
It's rotaries.
I know, but my one gives me grief every time I drive it. Love it, but it's painful.
It seems like there's just going back on the sort of heritage and how you guys came into the cars themselves. Like, are any of these standing here right now from the childhood era? Have you carried these forever, or did you buy these in like the past 10 years?
These would be the last 10 years.
Yeah,
How long have you had this RX-7 for?
I've had that for 10 years, exactly 10 years.
Yeah, Simon's first RX-7, which was Weapon RX-7.
Yeah.
Where'd that end up?
Probably stripped.
Yeah.
No, I stripped it. Yeah, I stripped it in Grandma's. Garage.
Stripped it in Grandma's?
Yeah, I did.
So dirty.
No,
I stripped in Grandma's as well.
that got impounded at one point. I had a Blue Series 2 RX-7 and that number plate Weapon RX-7, WPN RX-7. And I was a naughty boy and got caught racing in Ingleburn one night.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So the cops took that from me. Got it back, though. And I got off all the fines and everything by spinning some bullshit, but,
Dirty Mike and the boys had been inside it in the meantime.
Yeah. No, well, they had it in the impound on Cosgrove Road, where they used to be at like a, I don't know if it's still there, but at Belfield or Belmore there, and they parked it without putting the windows up. So when I got it, there were like all mould on the seats and stuff. But I bagged second leaving, so it was fine. That was a good car.
How did you guys, like, I'm trying to figure out, 'cause I think people can perfectly love cars and bikes at the same time. I myself am trying to get into bikes, which I want to touch on later because I think you guys can steer me in the right direction.
That's all him.
But how does that world open up? Like, talking about the different era and the different time, you putting a car on the side of the street upside down. Never see that type of stuff now. Like, the difference between what's going on then and what's going on now is just night and day. Do you feel that having this shop and these cars and what you represent and what you talk about and what you show off is very much that? And do you think it needs to make a resurgence?
Oh, I think it's still got that same spirit. I mean, I guess, we're now at a point where we've got the benefit of age, time, and some finance to be able to have a space that's got hoists, but we never had hoists. But that doesn't take away from the fact that, there are people out there that don't have hoists that should be working. Like I parked my RX-7 in my next door neighbour's carport, and I was meant to pay him $10 a week. 4 years later, I still didn't pay him because I couldn't afford to when he started chasing me for the money. I felt like an arsehole.
He also had a car stored at my parents for 8 years.
Oh yeah, this guy's dad hated me for so long. I remember I had a Mazda 1500 parked at his, and his nephew and niece fucking took a pen to it and started doing art on the side of it. Yeah. And
Wait, with like a Castell
no,
texture?
like literally pen. Like it was scratched into the side of it. But you just get creative. I mean, if you're really passionate about something, not having a garage to work out of or a space, you do what you got to do. If it's on the side of the road, then so be it. It's on the side of the road.
If you love it, you love it. So you'll do it anywhere.
And it goes the same with motorcycles. Like literally up until I didn't move out of home until I was sort of 32, 33. So really what I had was in that carport or stored at Simon's house with his dad. And I used to, I loved Simon's parents. I love Simon's parents. I loved going there.
Wow.
But every time I used to be so anxious going to his house, right? Because his fucking dad would just sit there and go, when you get that piece of shit out of here.
Rightfully
and
so.
it would be every single time I saw him. So I was always anxious because I was like, I've got nowhere else to park it.
You could kind of relate to that, can't you? With all your parts at the shop.
No, I don't leave my life savings at your house. No, not at all.
No, but like Simo said, if you're passionate about it, you get it done. And I mean, I've seen guys around this area working on the street, working on their cars, and it's super cool. And I mean, we get a lot of people in this local area that will come to us for a battery pack or a tool if they're missing something. And, those parts always come back. So it's pretty cool knowing that sort of, even people can use this space as a space where if they're sort of missing what they need to work on their car, and Simon's really handy mechanical wise. So, they can always pick his brains as well.
Yeah.
I'm okay on the tools.
I'm good at marketing, so if anyone wants to speak my brains, it's marketing. Anything mechanical, I'll be like, yeah, speak to this motherfucker.
Good to know. I make my way from Brookvale just to borrow a tool every now and then.
That's right. We had one guy lose his. I think this Zen garage moved in around the corner. They're only there temporary, but I think one guy was leaving their meat and his drive shaft just popped out. He's like, I was desperate for a jack, so the guy come out and just grabbed some tools and I'm like, yeah, man, just bring it back whenever you can. So that was good though.
I never saw him again.
Yeah.
No, they were good. They came back. I like helping out. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, of course. Especially if it's something cool.
Yeah.
Cool car.
Yeah.
I'm fully on board.
But he had to come back and buy a donut.
At least a box. I recently just moved house and I had to take everything out of my garage and I just moved it into his place at KS Racing. And I was clandestine about it. I was getting everything through there. Tony's helping me. We're quickly getting stuff out of the car. And then his old man, Big Frank, comes round. He starts working on the car near where I'm storing everything. I had one more piece to move because he hadn't seen anything at this point yet. Here I come with a gigantic hard top for the MX-5. He looks at it, he looks at it, looks at me, looks at Tony and goes, I don't know what he said to you in Chinese, but he was like, that's not fucking coming in here.
He literally took all the stuff from the shop less than a month ago. He's like, it's all clean. A month later, everything's back into the shelves.
That's too good.
Rent free, by the way. Rent free. I think that's why he's angry.
Probably.
Like I said, we'll do it for the passion. But my question was, where did the love for the RX-7s come from? All we've talked about is RX-7s.
Yeah. Well, my love for the RX-7s came from a guy that used to work at Canterbury Ice Rink. Shout out to Andrew if you see this. But he had a blue one, 13B turbo, and he'd be there at the ice rink when I'd go to. Because I'm formerly a speed skater. I don't know, didn't touch on that. But we can come back to that. But he had a Series 2 RX-7, and I just from that day it was like the first time seeing it and just hearing it, it's like, yeah, I kind of like that, you know. But and then as soon as I had the opportunity to, like, I'd worked like 3 jobs, like delivering pizza and shit. I had like an A71 Corolla as my first car. So I was driving around, and then one RX-7 popped up in Kingsgrove, and it was like $2,000. It's 12A auto, but blue. Needed a bit of work, but I'm like, fuck, nah, that's me, man. And as soon as I got it and bought it home, I'm like, yeah, done. That was it. The bug bit, and I've been a rotary guy ever since.
Just like there was no question, no doubt, I can do this.
No, once I had it, as soon as that motor went, like I remember driving it one day and this big plume of smoke at the back. I'm like, fucking yes, I can buy a Series 5 half cut. I can put a 30B turbo in it. I'm going to make it quick. And that was it. And yeah, I did exactly that. I bought a Series 5 half cut from the toy shop in Newcastle. And then I had it sent to Autosport Engineering in Kirrawee, and he did a 13B conversion on it for me. And then went to Mixed Motorsport to get tuned. And then, dude, I was smashing that thing everywhere. That car copped such a beating. It was the best car. And then, yeah, I got in trouble. And then, actually, I know I mentioned I got impounded. During the time it was impound, I managed to get a 13B Turbo Cosmo. And then, so like, I didn't really care about the RX-7 as much because I've got something running. I've got the Cosmo. I'm sweet. I can pull the RX-7 off the road. Yeah. I can modify it and do whatever I want. And then, yeah, like most projects, they never get finished, and I ended up skipping it. But you know,
what are you talking about? Your 613 horsepower Cosmo.
No, the Cosmo got finished, but I didn't. I didn't pull that off the road. But I pulled the RX-7 off the road to paint it and everything. Just never got around to it. And then
I met him after his RX-7.
Yeah, you met me.
Remember the RX-7.
No, you met me when I had my Cosmo.
Yeah. I was at Cogra, and I went into a petrol station and I just saw this white RX-7, didn't know anything about Mazda rotaries, and there's this old Lebo dude that owned it, and I just said to him, oh, that's a nice car. He's like, you want it? I'm like, yeah. And he goes, 500. I go, sweet, I'll pull it out of the ATM now. And he goes, no, 5,000. I'm like, okay. And then I got his number, and I went past his house, and he lived in like Cars Park. Yeah, Blakehurst, Cars Park, Blakehurst. And I went past there with $4,500 in cash because, you know, our ethnic parents always tell us you negotiate, you know, 10% at least, right? Yep. So I only went with $4,500 cash, and I threw it on the table in the backyard because him and his wife were in the backyard, and I just walked through the side gate, and she was like, "Oh my God, I've never seen so much money." And he looked at me and he goes, "How much?" I go, "It's 4.5." He goes, "The deal was 5," and I go, "Yeah, but it's 4.5." And he looks at me and goes, "You can help me install the antenna, and then you can have it for 4.5." So I helped him out, and then I took that car, and then I met Simon at some point afterwards, and then sort of meeting Simon and sort of getting a bit more of an understanding as to what modifications could be done. We ended up turning that into a 12A Bridgeport with a 5-speed Series 5 gearbox. And that had about 200 horsepower or so, 48 Ida Weber. And that was a heap of fun.
Until you blew it because you didn't get it tuned properly.
Oh, yeah, I blew it. And it sounded like a helicopter. Yeah. It was sick. I was on the highway.
I kept telling him, I said, dude, please get the car tuned. And he would just rape it everywhere. Yeah. Just full pelt no matter where he went. And I'm like, dude, please, just get it tuned.
And like literally one of the spark plugs, like the end of the spark plug fell off and went into the rotor and just ruined everything. Yeah. But for that brief moment, it literally sounded like I owned a helicopter. I was on the highway and I'm like, well, what the fuck is that? I thought there was like police helicopter.
We actually got that motor back after you rebuilt it. We bought that red RX-7 out of Hoxton Park, and when we picked it up and the accelerator cable snapped, that was the motor in that car.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I'm the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
There's a few RX-7s in between, but then sort of, you know, there was, I guess what was 17, 18, 19, 20 when we were playing with this stuff? And like, yeah, for me, I think I used a credit card at one stage. Never had one since. But yeah, like you sort of get to this point where life started getting a little bit more serious, and then became more unserious, and we got back into rotaries.
Yeah, I never got out of it. I stayed poor. So you know, the Cosmo I had after the RX-7, I built that on like a part-time wage. and that ended up having like 613 horsepower at the wheels.
Yeah.
Thing was a beast, man.
Dude, it was so much fun.
Are we talking the era that we're talking about overnight parts from Japan? Like nothing is as accessible as it is maybe today.
It wasn't too bad.
It wasn't, but
It's not as good as it is
everything
now.
on the Cosmo was custom made because no one made anything for it.
Yeah.
It's still like nowadays I can get suspension and I can get like brakes and stuff, but I still can't. It's still such a niche car that not a lot of people do a lot for it. And especially back then, like this is like 2003, 2004. Like no one's, what's a Cosmo? You know, people still don't know what a Cosmo is. So, you know,
Even the RX-7's got easier with Techno Toy and stuff like that.
the RX, yeah, because they're such a popular rotary. Everyone's always, you know, like FD parts as well. Like everyone just keeps making them because this, you know, very popular car.
Fun never stops.
No, Cosmos were unique. Everything was custom on that car. Converted it to manual, you know, and then T51R, external gate. The cops loved me. I got a photo of me getting defected at Rockdale Fitness First. It was
I
like
was
six.
with you.
Yeah, he took the photo. It was like 6 cops just around my car, just like pointing at stuff. I'm like,
Mate, the funniest thing is, like, so we lived in that area. So, like, to get home, it's not like we were cruising through Brighton with the boys. We were just going home. And the car sort of puts its lights on, saying, yep, we're taking you to a defect station. And this road is like 4 or 5 lanes wide. And we had to do a U-turn because the cop did a U-turn. And Simon's like, fuck, had a lock diff. So he did like a 5-point turn on a 5-lane road. And I was dying laughing. And I just going, I hope they didn't pick up on that. But then, yeah, there was this one police I was sitting there. Mate, this guy was on the roids like there was no tomorrow. This guy
he's a
was
big boy.
huge. And he just gave it to Simon. It was, defect central.
what did I get? I got.
He even picked up on the computer that I was hiding. The monitor.
They picked up on everything. I got done for fuel pressure regulator, air filter, cat too small. Front mount intercooler, even though they come with a front mount standard. Anyway, noise they got it was a Bridgie too, but they got me at 90. It was 96 decibels, which I thought was, you know, it was pretty decent for a Bridgie.
Yeah.
What else did they get me for? And that was actually the second time that car had been defected because I hadn't had that on the road for over a year because I'd been defected previously and I had to go through emissions testing and everything. That was an absolute nightmare. Yeah. But I got out of that one, luckily. I converted it to NA and then I got it past emissions and I put all the turbo and everything back on. And then at that point, you had to go to like the EPA station at Villawood. I rocked up in there. The guy pops my bonnet and he's like, you mean to tell me that passed an emissions test like that? And I'm like, yep. And he's like, so if I call them, they're going to say it passed. I said, yeah. And I was bluffing, 100% bluffing. And he didn't call him. He's like, okay.
Right till the end. Right till the
Like,
end.
just let me drive my car, man. And then the first cruise, I got defected again. I'm like, the car was cursed. But
So we blew it up.
no, that was another car I put off the road to do up again after that. And then never eventuated.
It is somewhat demoralising, eh?
It is, because I spent so much money on that car.
I think our message to people is if you've got a car that's working and affordability is on the agenda, just enjoy it. I think that's the thing. We were always chasing high horsepower, high quarter mile numbers. But to be fair, the most fun that we've got when you look back at where we started was just dialing in the suspension, dialing in the brakes, and you know through the national park. It doesn't matter
was
how
just
much
a normal
horsepower you've
leisurely
got.
drive.
You're basically normal leisurely drive. You're basically going as fast as you can, irrespective. So we sit there now and go, you know what? If we've got a 200 horsepower XM, that's more than enough for fun. If you're planning on not drag racing, and if it's just about twisty roads or track days, it's more than enough. I mean, the race car's 270 horsepower, and the thing goes faster than a GTR around the track. Like it's all about the suspension and brakes.
Yeah. Up until recently, I had a little EP71 Toyota Starlet Turbo, like a 1986. Stock standard engine-wise, but I put brakes and suspension on it, and it was the best car. It was so much fun to drive.
Yeah.
I mean, it hung out with that through the twisties, like down in Mount Hotham Way, because it was just always on boost. Like every corner, just straight away. It's so good.
Yeah, beautiful. Love that.
Great little nugget.
I've sort of come to the conclusion where I just don't think I can buy street cars anymore. I'm just going to have to keep buying unregistered cars and just keep going to the track. That's all I can do.
It's the best way to do it, honestly.
It's still expensive though. I mean, especially if you've got to buy a trailer, if you have the space for a trailer, like.
Yeah, I get you, but
You know the MX-5 that rocked up with the wing on it? It's so red hot. Like,
Yeah.
I am borderline, I'm just going to take it off. And if I really want it on there and I go to the track with it, I'll put it on when I'm ready to do it.
That's road registered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
So like, something that you can drive to the track is the key, right? Like, you want something that you can drive there and just hoon and then be able to drive back. I mean, that's what I used to do with the Lotus Europa. You might not see it on camera, so I'll quickly explain. It's a 1969 Lotus Europa. It's basically like a Formula One chassis from the 60s with a fiberglass sort of body on top. And it's only 115 horsepower, but that at Luddenham was so much fun. And drive there, drive back.
Yeah.
It's epic. And it's 115 horsepower. Yes, it's only 650 kilos. And if you crash, you die. But, I mean, for me, it's like the lighter weight cars, you don't need huge horsepower. And around a track, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
I hate that car, though.
The Lotus.
Why?
I hate it. It just does my head. When you get stuck working on things constantly, you kind of get over it a little bit. And like that's
all
like,
my cars.
I know all these cars, race car as well. But that's like British engineering at its finest. That was horrible.
It was actually a French motor. A Renault.
It's a French motor, but the car
It's a Renault motor
whatever.
with Colin Chapman, race car engineering. It's quick.
Speaking of unregistered cars and something that I actually want to take to the track, I would love your opinion on this because it is a rotary. It's just not necessarily the most favourite rotary that's out there. But I've contemplated buying an RX-8 with the old Renault engine that is in there.
Solid. I'm not a huge fan of the Renesis, but the RX-8 as a platform, brilliant car.
Great handling car as well.
Yeah, snappy, I've heard.
Well, I think they're pretty sure they've got 50-50 weight distribution, so they can be set up to handle really, really well. And they stop. So
It's the emissions controls that were really reducing the power on the engine.
I just don't like the side ports on the Renesis. Renesis does nothing for me. It doesn't have that proper rotary sound like you'd get from an FD or FC, like that kind of stuff. No. It just, you can still get it to a point, but it's just not the same.
I think no matter how many YouTube videos that I've watched on trying to make it as close as you can to the FD, it's just never actually going to happen.
But bang for buck, they're a great car, and there's two different series now that race. Like we race the improved production with the RX-7, but then you've got two different series with RX-8s, and the guys out there are having so much fun. And again, they're not huge power, but when you're in a comparative playing field and everyone's restricted and the cars have to be the same, it's cool, and they swear by it. Because I race with some of the guys in improved production. They're like, man, the RX-8s handle amazingly. I've never driven one up until I think last year. Last year, I sort of changed, and I said to Simon, I'm like, actually, you know what? Visually, some of them I like now, but up until last year, I fucking hated every single one of them. Like, I was like, this thing is not a rotary. I didn't even want to call this thing a Mazda. It's hideous. And then last year, I look at something like, you know what? It's only taken me 20 years, but it's starting to grow on me now.
It's aged well.
But the RX-8s today are like the RX-7s, like Series 2 and 3s that we used to strip back in the day. Like they were the entry-level rotary. They're cheap, heaps of parts for them. So
God, I wish you could say that now.
Yeah. RX-8s, though, still, they're so cheap.
They are.
I had a mate of mine who bought a running one for like $2,500.
Yeah, I think they're a bit more than that.
They're still a bit low, but you can still pick them up quite cheap.
You can, honestly, you can.
What have you been looking at? How much are they?
Yeah, honestly, that registered and unregistered, we're looking anywhere from 2, 3, 4, 5.
I thought they were up to like 15 or something.
Dude.
No, because no one's touching them.
Yeah.
It's either this is my point that I was actually going to make before. Everyone's too afraid because it's a rotary, and if you know nothing about it, that's why I admire for what you guys were doing back in the day. There's only so much limited information out there, but you're just like, no, fuck it, I'll do it.
But they're so basic as well.
They're no different to any sort of piston car as long as they're maintained and they're tuned right. There's no issue with them. I haven't blown one.
No.
The only time I had
drives like a grandma.
the only time I've had one fail that was like a mechanical issue was when my fuel pressure reg decided to fuck out on the dyno, on mid pull on 30 psi. So, and it just bent the seals, and I think it cost me like $500 just to open the motor up, get the seals straightened back out, bang, straight back together. That was the only time. If you stay on top of maintenance, it's no different. Every piston car we've owned between us, we've always had to work on. So it's really no difference.
Yeah. But that's something I'm prepared to do, though. I'm prepared to open it up like I'm just expecting it to be shit the moment that I buy an RX-8, especially an unregistered one, and just go, fuck it. If the compression's there, let's just open it up and just slap all the new parts on, and then away we go.
I wouldn't even
We've
bother
got
opening it. If compression's good and it's not smoking, just drive it.
We've got a compression. We've got a compression tester here you can borrow. It's digital.
What time do you guys close the shop?
For you, we're always open.
Thank you. I could never convince you to buy a rotary, eh?
Yeah, I don't think so. No.
Why? Why?
Why?
Yeah, why?
RBs have been in the family the whole time.
RBs? Yeah,
RBs,
I mean, they're cool. But
I love rotaries, don't get me wrong. I love them. And it's growing on me, but to own one, I think the old man will probably kill me if I don't get an RB first.
have you driven one?
Yeah.
Have you driven an FD?
Yeah, FD.
And you don't want one?
I want one. I love them. But I don't want to have one to maintain.
Hang on. Are you allowed to buy one, or is your dad stopping you from buying one? He's like, flat no. If you met this man, you'd be like, holy
There'd be
shit.
too many toys in the shop right now.
scared
There's just too many toys.
Yeah.
Too many toys.
Does your dad beat you?
Probably.
You know the bell? You know the spoon?
Do you enjoy it? No.
Classic Taiwanese dad back in the day, watching anime, eating noodles, and then working on cars. Like that.
Oh,
is-
that's cool.
Nah,
Yeah.
Jensen's story.
I think for me, it's have you driven a Bridgeport? Like an FD and all the rest of it's great, but if they're a Bridgeport, oh man, there's something special. Or a peripheral port, there's something special about them. And even though like, you know, the white RX-7 that we've got here, it's 400 horsepower. I'll tell you right now, I'd rather that was a 13B Bridgeport. Just the shake that you get at the set of traffic lights when you give it a little bit of throttle in sort of neutral with the clutch in. Yeah. It's like a muscle car, but in this weird Japanese way. And I think for me, driving that 12A Bridgeport once we did that motor work to my first one, that was what made me become a rotary guy. It wasn't the fact that I owned a rotary because I knew nothing about rotaries beforehand. It was literally the sound, the vibration, and the pull of going to 12,000 revs in a fucking 12A Bridgie.
Yeah.
That's what you need to drive.
That's what we're going to
Bridgeport.
drive.
Because I've never.
We'll do it.
If I had one Simon's cars on the road, you can drive his.
That's nice of you.
The only naturally aspirated car we've got here is the 10A Cosmo.
Yeah.
And that's not ported, and the race car, but we can't take that out on the street.
Yeah, no, I got a semi-PP going in that one. Not a semi-PP, but
Yeah,
it's a semi-peripheral port, I should.
Yeah, PP sounds inappropriate.
Yeah.
Semi-PP, speaking to you guys.
Is that the radium? Is that why you wanted the radium for? The fuel rod?
No, that's because that'll be for the Cosmo. When it's
Okay.
time to modify that because I can't leave anything standard.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, I think that really sort of sets the mark because it sounds like you guys really bring it to the table, certainly in the car realm. And I definitely want to jump in bikes. But one thing that I really, really want to discuss with you guys that I thought was just super cool seeing last year was you guys hosting World Time Attack.
Part of
World Time Attack.
You made me
yes.
sound like Ian. Ian was here.
Yeah,
today.
they're actually
Ian.
Ian and Alan.
You're out and we're in.
You guys see, I do my job.
Yeah, that was cool. Listen, for us, it was pretty cool being able to have that awareness brought to Donut Garage as well, and have that skid pan, to a degree branded with Donut Garage, but also with the Chemical guys and Shannon's and all the rest of it. And that was a really organic relationship, I think, between Ian and Al, understanding what we do from an events management perspective. It was an easy decision for them to make. And, I was at World Time Attack the year before, and I was there on the Friday, and there was literally nothing in the car park, in the skid pan on that day. And so when they sort of approached us, it was like, well, cool, yes, but we want to activate on the Friday and the Saturday, which, to be fair, it's extra value to everyone that's involved, right? From
I
the
thought so.
sponsors, from the vendors, from the people that are actually coming to the event. And that was hugely successful. I mean, for us to be able to sort of pull that many cars so late in the game, and we pulled favours from places like Queen Street and other people that had big collections. We had to, but already this year, I mean, we've gone through the list earlier today, and there's some wild entrants. And the thing for us is how do you sort of build it out so that you have a very prominent JDM styled event, but we want the show and shine to be something where people will love or hate the vehicles that are there. So we want, European cars, we want Japanese cars, we want muscle cars, we want the weird, quirky shit that you won't see anywhere else. And it's a fine balance between all of it. But I think sort of even last year we did a really good job of that. And, people were looking at a Renault Alpine A310 going, what the fuck is that? I've never seen that car before in my life. And it's probably the only one in Australia. And we had it there. We had...
Dude, you had a Mighty Boy there. You had like...
Yeah, that Mighty Boy was mad. 13B. Yeah. And that little Mini that had the WRX engine in it. Like, we had some wild cars. And I think, the goal for us with World Time Attack is to, have cars there that when people want to escape the racing, they can go and check out some cool shit and have those conversations with the owners of the vehicles. Yep. We had DJs there this year. We've got DJs. For us, it's how do you bring entertainment? And then, the future for us within that event is to look at how do you sort of turn the Friday night into more of a celebration and sort of get some alcohol out there. And it's a fine mix because you want to balance the fact that you've got some really nice cars around, so you still need to be responsible, but turn it into a bit more of a party zone at night time, without taking away from the drift aspect of it as well. So there's a lot to work on, but this year is essentially more cars, a wilder DJ setup. I don't even know if I can say what I want to say, so I won't say it, but
this will be out in like 3 weeks.
It's still going to be inappropriate, but LW, that's the clue. There's a couple crazy cars that are coming. Like these guys, Ian and Al are wild, and Ian especially. I mean, the cars that he's got coming from overseas and the personalities that he gets, it's fucking crazy. It's cool just being able to hang out with, all these Japanese guys and some that Simon knows from when he travels to Japan and they're here in Sydney.
I go to Japan quite a bit. I always try to make an effort to go up for Sevens Day. 7th of July, they have they did up until last year, big RX-7 meet. And one of the guys that raced last year brought his RX-7 over. So I've been going to his event for like 5 years.
Holy shit.
So, Simon's really big in Japan.
No, I'm not.
Simon says, or?
Simon says he's big in Japan.
No, but I'm one of the very few, I guess, foreigners that I see at Sevens Day and the event that he held, because I got a mate that takes me. So I see him every year, and it was really cool to see him out here and meet other guys. And I actually ended up catching up with some, I went to Tokyo Auto Salon earlier in the year, caught up with a few of them there, so it was fun.
Yeah.
Bit of a language barrier.
It is to a degree, but they're so funny, and there's so much fun to hang around, and they're just car nuts. It's perfect.
I met a few of them, and I'm trying to talk to these guys, and they're just looking at me like, who the fuck is this guy? And what is he saying? And then I would just open up a photo of my my Mazda 110 Cosmo, and I'd show them, and then I was like, oh, and they're pulling all their mates to come and look, and I'm like, yeah, man, I'm a big dog. Arigato gozaimasu.
Big deal around here. I love World Time Attack for many different reasons, but I think it is one of the aspects that I love the most is the world attraction talent. Japan is definitely one thing. The people, the cars, the people from America as well that come over. To some extent, the YouTubers, like obviously having Rob Dahm there and everything last year, it's like, what the hell is this guy doing here? This is crazy. Like, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
Is just, I think it's so cool. And to hear what you guys have planned this year in terms of like the more DJ sets and sort of bring, I guess, like a more festival. I think that's the right word. It's way more, it kind of reminds you of those Fast and Furious movies, right? Like back in the day, it's just like race wars in the desert, music, everything and going on. Like there needs to be way more of that.
Yeah.
I'm surprised no one's done this in Australia yet. We have so much desert.
Yeah.
Someone can put this on.
That would be cool. I just don't want to be the person putting it on.
He wants to be in the party.
I'm at that point now that I'm 40 and I've run so many events globally that I'm like, I just want to drink and just chill and watch someone else take all the stress on while I actually enjoy myself. So, if anyone wants to put on large-scale events, then by all means, contact us and we'll give you all the advice. But we want a free ticket.
Yeah. You feel that way, don't you?
I think we're in those shoes right now. We don't want to run events. We just want to attend.
Yeah. It's so much more fun. I mean, and you get to a point, like, don't get me wrong, I still love the community aspect of all the stuff that we do. And like World Time Attack was, to be honest, a real cool one because we met so many people from all around Australia and again, globally, and being able to sort of have those relationships. It's nice from a personal perspective, but it's also nice from the fact that, you know, we've got a young business with Donut Garage, and that all feeds back into the ecosystem. Those guys come here while they're here, they check it out. Even if they're from overseas, they'll come check it out this year, and it sort of starts to build up the reputation of this space. And you know what? That's what I mean by an ecosystem. Running the events helps us. No different to running historic nights that we did on top of Entertainment Quarter, all classic cars 30 years old. We don't make any money running that event. We don't charge anyone to take part in that event, apart from a couple of sponsors just to cover the costs of security and location. But again, those relationships turn into people being able to come here and hang out. Simon gets to put up with them, telling all their long-winded stories, because there's a lot of
I'm always up for a chat, though.
there's a lot of lonely guys out there, and Simon is an ear for them to
I'm here for it.
talk to. Yeah. I just come down sometimes. I see Simon randomly hugging like old dudes. It's weird.
Sometimes people need a cuddle.
Yeah, never females.
The embrace of Simon. Are we allowed to talk about that?
Yeah, go for it. Everything's
Because that is cool. And what you have planned for the engine swap going to that is cool.
yeah, it is.
How much are you allowed to say?
We're going to put. It's like we stripped out the Range Rover motor, and we're going to put another Range Rover motor back in. I can't even speak English. All right, so the full story is our first GTR went into the side of a tree. We bought that GTR back, removed the majority of the tree. It was everywhere. And we took the front subframe and the rear subframe off the GTR. It's an R35. And so that Range Rover is going to have full GTR R35 running gear. The whole idea with that vehicle is a World Time Attack race car, but also road registered. So removable 6-point cage. It's going to be wide body. There's a guy that's working on aero. We've got CS Engineering in Ingleburn. They're going to do all the chassis modifications to get it all rolling. It looks like we'll probably go with Haltech, whoever gives us free shit. Haltech. No, but seriously.
RX-7 and a Cosmo to build too.
No, seriously.
Two
Whoever
RX-7s,
gives us free shit, we'll use it. And if they don't give us free shit, we'll just buy whatever we want and get it done. But it's nicer if it's free.
Seriously though, automotive.
It's going to get done anyway. It's just a matter of how much longer does it take if we've got to save more. But yeah, that's the idea. And to be fair, you know, it's only 6 or 7 centimeters longer in wheelbase than an R35. It's the same width because of the fact that it's going to be a wide body. And the weights are relatively similar. That's basically all aluminium body, but just the chassis is the heavy part of it. So the weights, you know, it's all sits really low. And I'm fairly confident that we should be able to get it, you know, with some aftermarket bits and pieces, handling probably a little bit better than
So
a
you
GTR.
want to build a spaceship? Basically.
Yeah, it's going to be wild.
canards
You know what?
and
The whole reason, and seriously, this is going to sound crazy to all the people that are listening to this, but the whole reason that we're doing it is because I really wanted to use the letters GTRR. Like, even Chris from CS is like, so did you measure any of this up? And I'm like, nah. And he's like, and he comes in and he goes, okay, I'm going to spend 8 hours. I'm going to bring all these tools and we're going to dummy fit everything. I'm like, sweet, man. 45 minutes later, he's done. He goes, fuck, you fluked that one. and he's like, why'd you choose a Range Rover? And I looked at him because I want to call it the GTRR. And he just looks at me with this puzzled look going, is that the only reason? I'm like, yeah, pretty much. And he goes, well, you fluked it. And for me, I mean, yeah, it's probably not the only reason. It's a cool reason, but because I can see the logo GTRR. But
Are we going to get a full embossed logo as well?
we're going to make a GTRR logo.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to look like a GTR. It's going to be the same color as that GTR as well, the titanium sort of grey. But it's something that hasn't been done before, and we're not going that Dubai spec, like four-wheel driving sort of scene. Like, it is going to be, you know, lowered, and it's going to be a race car. And whether or not it wins anything at World Time Attack, which I highly doubt, we don't care.
You never know.
Well, we just don't care. Like, to be fair, we'll go out there and we'll give it hell and we'll have fun. But the whole idea of it is, you know, just go out there and literally do something that others haven't done before. Like, There's no way a Range Rover is fucking winning World Time Attack. I'll tell you that much. But we'll give it a shot.
But I love it though because there was even that just that tiny little red Daihatsu, whatever it was, and had the gigantic
that
wing
thing was
above its
sick.
head. It was gnarly.
What was that again? The little red car.
It was.
Was it a Daihatsu?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
We went and checked it out, and he had like heaps of work done to it.
I like.
I'll show you a photo. That thing
Yeah,
was
show me a
thing was absolutely wild. And again, yeah, he was going so quick, like for what it was, and
It weighs nothing.
it looked cool. This thing will look badass. I just can't wait to sort of roll up to like GTR Festival and you get all these people going, "What the fuck is that doing here?" And then you open the bonnet, it's like, oh,
You know,
okay.
you know, it would be a cool idea because Luke Fink last year had his patrol. Is it the patrol?
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
And drifted that thing around. Get a little mad shot of you guys going around the track together at the
Yeah.
same time. Just two big
I was
mums.
really blown away by that. It's not a patrol chassis though, is it? It's just the body of
No.
the patrol put on something.
Yeah, 350.
Was it?
350
350
chassis, yeah.
Because I was looking closely at it, I didn't know what it was, but still so badass. So badass. And the livery on it was mad, like the blue, red, white. It was a cool car.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll race him. We just can't drift because we're four-wheel drive. We're all-wheel drive. I think he's literally, that's a drift car, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I
yeah,
didn't see a drift. I just saw it when I was in the car park.
I don't know how many cars that guy's got, but yeah, he's an insane drifter.
Yeah.
He's like going all across
But do you
Australia.
got to mean, we're talking about that car.
Yeah, it's
And
crazy.
so there are going to be other people and other podcasts that talk about this car globally.
100%.
And that's the goal, like for them to be able to sit there and go, fuck, when we come to Australia, if we come to Sydney, we're going to Donut Garage. Like that's badass.
Yeah.
Like where else do you see, I know we're going to talk about motorbikes soon, but like there's an SR500, which is a Yamaha single cylinder with a NOS system that I raced at on the quarter mile at the drag strip there. And it's like 500cc NOSed up bike. It's like there's stuff here that you won't see anywhere else.
Yeah.
That's what we want it to be.
Well, now you got an event at a world scale to do it. I'm pretty sure everyone's going to be watching that.
Yeah. Or as Simon says, I mean, he even has a mini PP that people can see. It's just on the engine.
Close
Anytime.
your eyes, you can hear it.
Isn't that, is that what you called it before? A mini
Semi-PP,
PP?
no,
Semi PP, sorry, semi PP. I heard mini.
Depending how you take it.
I love your semi PP.
I know you do.
Hey, you said before we did the little introduction, we can talk about anything as long as it's not offensive.
Yeah, to anyone else, but yourselves, go for gold.
Yeah, sweet.
You know what I need to have, considering you had the Mighty Boy, you could have this, you could have all these cars in the show area, just a Peel P50. Just that little tiny three-wheeler car. Did you see the one? Did you ever see the one at Summernats?
Wait, which one are you talking about?
The Peel P50. It's a tiny little cube of a car, no joke, no taller than this barrel, and it's got three wheels.
I'm Googling this. You said Peel.
Peel P50.
P-I-L or?
No, P-E-E-L?
Isn't it Pee-wee 50?
Pee-wee? Or
Pee-wee.
Peel?
No, that's a motorbike, isn't it?
Pee-wee.
Yeah, Pee-wee 50 is a tiny little... P-W-E-L.
PWL, Peel
Oh,
50.
we were all wrong on that one.
Yeah, it's like, you know those like little
Peel three-wheeler.
kid cars at the shopping centre? It's literally one of those.
Those?
Yeah.
But
On
it has
three
a
wheels.
motor in it.
Oh, shit, that's cool, man. That's really cool. It is literally a cube. I have never, like, I've seen three-wheelers, like BMW did one years ago. Like, I've seen these, but I've never seen this. That is cool. That's even cooler than the Mr. Bean one.
Dude, a dude...
Oh,
What is it?
this dude's got a little caravan.
Robin, what are they called? The Mr. Bean ones? What are the
Okay, that English
Robin,
brand.
Robin, oh, that's something
The
like
Morris? Didn't you drive a Morris?
No,
No,
we're
like
talking
the-
about the
'cause, yeah.
three-wheelers.
Oh,
Not
Like,
him,
he'd always
but the
hit
other
it.
guy had it, and he used to always...
Yeah, he'd get in his way and he'd always tip it.
Yeah. Oh, this is mad.
a dude around Summernats drove that thing off its tits, just revving the crap
Are you
out of
serious?
it.
So that's the cool thing about Summernats. You get some of that wild stuff, like that. What's that Mazda bus that they made?
Oh, the rotary
Oh,
bus.
the Parkway. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that was so cool at Summernats.
cool.
The best thing about that was he was allowing anyone and
Yeah.
everyone to get
Jump
on
in.
the bus
Yeah.
and drive around.
Yeah, that was sick.
Coolest idea
And
ever.
he still probably literally picked up no one.
It's true, it was. It did break down.
come in my bus. I've got candy.
To be fair, how
Sorry,
was it-
bro. Whoever you are, I'm sorry.
To be fair, we're the one with the sweet van.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
So
That's true.
Yeah, gotta be careful.
Please. Wait, can we change the topic? Let's go back to mini PPs. Love those things.
Bikes.
Oh,
I do want to get onto this topic. I have
Very
always
dangerous.
Very dangerous in the city of Sydney, especially. I understand that a lot of people don't know how to drive with bike riders on the road, but I, at my 31 years of age, want to get a bike. I want to get into bikes. I watch everyone around me do it, and I'm watching people get their bike license and saying they're loving it and having the best time ever. I'm actually not the biggest fan of, well, not that I'm not the biggest fan, I just don't really enjoy modern bikes. I love classics. Love classics. Anything like pre-2000, have so much time in the world for typical classic cafe racer and all that type of stuff, but I think I'm very much an old school Triumph flat plane bike, just chill. Just a full-blown chiller bike.
Yeah.
Is it a good decision to get my bike license and get into this now?
I'm not your parents. No, son.
Absolutely not.
That's a tricky one, right? Because, like, from an enthusiastic perspective, it's cool, man. And I think Simon and I love the fact that, like, Simon's got a Triumph as well. We love the fact that, you know, if you're enthusiastic about cars, then generally are you enthusiastic about sort of adrenaline and horse speed and everything that comes with it? And if you are, then naturally you're sort of going to gravitate at some stage towards motorbikes as well. Should you get a Triumph or should you get your license? Was that the question? Which one's the question?
Oh, it's just, is now, like, should I get into it if that's the era and the style of bike?
I think it's a very intrinsic question, and I know this is going to go deep and weird, and I apologise to everyone. I've had so many mates with all the stuff that I've done, like the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride and Throttle Roll, and all my mates look to me as like, you know, I'm the motorbike guy in our friendship circle. And they always go, oh, why don't you try and motivate me to ride motorbikes? And I sit there and I go, because it needs to be your decision. And I know it sounds weird, but I'd never want to motivate someone to ride a motorbike, because if they have an accident, trust me, I know how I'm wired, I'll feel like it's my fault. And so it really needs to be you and having this understanding about who you are as a person and what's around you. Like for me, I'm clearly undiagnosed ADHD, right? I know what's happening behind my back. Like I can ride a motorbike and I know what's generally going on and I've been able to avoid accidents. But if you're a person that sort of sits there and, you know, can sit in an interview this long and not want to stand up and stretch his legs, it's not going to work out that well for you riding a motorbike.
What I deal with every day.
Yeah. It's motorbike riding is fucking dangerous, man.
Yeah.
You've got ladies putting on makeup while you drive. You've got guys putting on makeup while they drive. You've got people on their mobile phones. It's just, you've got people trying to feed their kids in the back. Like, it's just, there is so much going on that you've got to be on edge 100% of the time. There is no point where you're riding a motorbike where you can sort of chill out.
Yep.
Not in the city anyway. Don't get me wrong, when you're on a Great Ocean Road or something where it's a little bit quieter, that's fine. But in the city, it's scary. So yes, if you want to get your motorbike license, go for it. Old school bikes, great. Another way to stay poor for the rest of your life. It's true. But it is fun, and I think sort of the people that you meet through that process and being able to connect with all these different groups and again build those social connections with people, it's a big network of people. And you know what I find from running motorcycle events is the beautiful part of it is it doesn't matter if you're a Garber or a CEO, you're all in a even playing field. Like, you can talk to anyone with a motorcycle. It's so fucking cool. It's just anywhere you go, if someone finds out you're a motorcyclist and they're one, you've hit it off like there's no tomorrow. It's a pretty special connection. So yeah, you've got no answer.
Bikes scare the shit out of me. I like riding, don't get me wrong. I enjoy riding, but like, perfect example, was the first time I got my L's. I think the very first ride I went from, within 2 minutes from my house, some guy just pulled right out in front of me. I saw it coming, so I was prepared for it. But like, I had a mate in front of me on his bike, he went straight through, and then the guy just pulls right out. I'm like, it's scary. Because Mark's right, like, people aren't paying attention. So you've always got to be, like, I ride to work occasionally, and I nearly get hit just leaving my house. Because, like, just turning onto the highway, people will just, they won't turn into their lane, they'll just turn into yours. And they won't look. They just go straight in there. I'm like,
Whereas I find that part the most fun, and like that's why I like riding to work, because I get to avoid dying every day, and it's like, and like you're able to sort of see things before they happen, and you're looking at wheels to see if they're going to move a little bit, or you're looking at through the car to see what they're doing with their hands, and like I used to sort of ride from when I used to live in sort of Dolls Point. I used to ride from Dolls Point to Marrickville every day, and I reckon I'd avoid three life-changing accidents on a daily basis, but I found it fucking fun. Like I found
no enjoyment out of that. I actually want to get home.
I'm so chill as well. I don't even swear or get angry with people. I'm just like, thanks for the challenge. Like, there's no point, because if you're angry, you're not focusing on what's about to happen, 10 meters down the road as well. So you've got to really be in tune with yourself when you're riding motorbikes. It's a pretty crazy thing in Sydney.
Yeah, it seems like you're quite cool, calm, and collected doing it. Like, it's something you could work out.
Oh, there's no point getting angry. Like, I used to get so pissed off and road rage and all the rest of it. But now I'm just at this point where I'm just like, whatever. I'm so used to it. It's like having a social media presence and sort of people ripping into you online. And, when you first start out, you're like, I can't believe that person said that. And now you're like, whatever, bro, come at me. Like, I don't care. Like, there was one guy that had a go at me. He goes, you'll be so easy to find. I'm like, 7 Mitchell Street, Marrickville. I'm here 5 days a week, man. Like, it's really, like, it's just, you get to this point where you get so used to it, but you don't get angry.
I think for the longest time, I didn't have a bike because I would be the typical guy being like, I can't believe you'd even fathom driving a bike in Sydney. Like, I couldn't imagine anything. I grew up on a farm and dirt bikes were everything.
Yeah.
Couldn't give a shit. I broke a few. People got injured. Like, whatever. It's just typical farm stuff, right?
Yeah.
But there's no rules on a farm. And no one is around you to fuck that up other than yourself.
Yeah.
And I realize that that's so different on the road, and that's why I'm not going to bikes because I'm looking for the next level of speed, because it's power to weight ratio and all that type of stuff. I'm going in there because it feels like the culture that is so cool. Like you said, the Garbo can mingle with the CEO of ANZ, and it's like, bam.
It's cool. And I mean, like, farms is, a lot of the guys that ride motorbikes, they started off riding in farms. The only comparison I can draw to Sydney and farms is that, sometimes you get cows walk out in front of you, but that's just how life is. You can delete that part. I'm going to stop now, man. Ask him a question.
Yeah.
I'll try not to answer it this time.
Oh. Oh, man. All right. I want to ask.
Grow up.
I'm drinking water.
Cool, calm, and collected.
Yeah.
No, I'll go into the giggles now, and I'll be giggling for the next 20 minutes. All right, I'm back.
All right. Let's bring it back to donuts. I'm still shocked to this day when I rocked up here and you told me that the cinnamon donut is not the best-selling donut here.
No, it's not.
Not even by...
Not even close. Not even close.
That's because we don't sell it anymore.
No, because you know what it is? People will be like, I really want it, and I'll put it on the menu, and then they won't buy it. I'm like, well, why did I put it on the menu? And it's the easiest donut to make. I'll be more than happy to put it on the menu if it's sold out. But, like, they just don't.
Can I just swing you a text message now and be like, I'm coming on Tuesday?
That's disgusting.
Make 100.
You probably could. Like, it's so easy.
But the donut balls, man. The donut
Yeah, we got
balls.
cinnamon donut balls. People are like, they're not the same. They are exactly the same.
They
It's
are.
the same dough. It's literally the center of a donut.
I think you get more cinnamon hit in it, but I think that's good. Cinnamon donut with heaps of cinnamon is mad.
He doesn't like balls in the mouth.
Yeah.
I honestly...
I don't.
I
I mean, I like your balls.
Of course.
Your donut balls.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but not.
And
But I would
pea
never
peas.
cheat on your donut balls.
You have done.
Yeah. Daniel's donut.
I would have thought for sure that the chef song would have come out by now at some stage about chocolate salted balls.
Oh, that's that far.
I have been waiting for the video
Wow.
to drop.
I thought when you sort of started talking about donuts, you're going to ask how the holes get punched in them. I was like, fuck, here we go. It's just a machine, bro. His name's Simon.
Give me the idea, though. Chocolate salty balls.
Chocolate salted balls.
We'll make a donut.
I can do that.
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
Yeah, we could do something with that.
I put them in the Milo and the ice cream. Dope combination. The cinnamon balls.
in your Milo ice cream, what?
Yeah.
Oh wait, you told me
Chocolate
about this.
salted
I remember you
cheese.
messaging me
Yeah.
about this. Yeah, that's cool.
It was a fucking epic combo. I'm not saying you need to start serving ice cream as well. Fuck that.
Well, I mean, we wanted to in summer.
Yeah.
But
Maybe
just-
next summer we'll get a soft serve machine in there. And
You need something that's cold.
The slushies though. Did
yeah, we
you?
got a slushy machine.
Yeah.
That was good. That was a mad score. My mate gave me that machine. He's like, oh, it doesn't work. He goes, but it probably just needs this. It was like a $70 part. Got it, put it in, worked straight
works.
away.
I put a bottle of vodka in one, and like seriously,
He
it
did,
froze
no,
over.
like legit.
Oh, that was
we had
funny.
his
Wait.
birthday party. Yeah. We had
This
his
was
birthday party.
after we were closed.
After we were
just
closed.
to be fed at every liquor institute or whatever
Private event.
licensing
It was a
place.
private event.
Disclosure.
Yeah,
It wasn't during opening hours.
no, it wasn't. It was the place was closed. You can finish off the story.
Anyway, yeah. So naturally, you got the slush machine. You're going to put alcohol in it. Cool. Next day, the guys come in to open the shop. They turn the slush machine on.
Oh
mix it
fuck!
up.
I thought you were going somewhere else with this.
Why? Where do you think I was going with it?
Because some kid had one at my party. It was like 7.
Some kid did have it. Yeah. That's true. That is true. I was talking about the next day when the guys came into work.
And I was
and
going up
started
to the
drinking it.
parents, go like, "Hey man, is that a slushy?" Like, yeah. I'm like, "That's got vodka." in it." Like, oh shit! Yeah, you should have seen the kid. He had like his cigarette by 7 p.m. in his mouth. It was wild.
Yeah, no, but the guys came in the next morning and turned the machine on, and when it got to temp, they started drinking it. They're like, was it vodka in the thing? I'm like, yeah. Like, oh, okay. Probably shouldn't drink it then.
What is the best-selling donut?
Strawberry.
Strawberry, the classic.
By a long way. It's like, for whatever reason, the strawberry donut is the most popular. It's not my favourite, but seems to be everyone else's.
Do you have your own favorite? Do you have your own signature donut?
I made a pineapple's my favourite.
Yeah.
I made the pineapple because I used to get one when I was little. And when I made that pineapple donut, that like took me back to my childhood. So I'm like, okay, that's got to go on the menu. But a lot of people, it's a very contentious subject actually. I find pineapple donuts because I did a TikTok, right, and I put it under my personal account because it's probably shit, and I didn't know if anything was going to come of it, and it got like I think it's up to like 341,000 views or something, but then it was just me coming into work, glazing donuts, whatever, and then people are coming in, oh, pineapple donut, I haven't had a pineapple donut in so long. And that's not how it looked when I was young. I'm like, didn't make it how you made it when I was, like, I'm sure you went to a different bakery. Like, I made it how I got it when I was young, you know? And then, yeah, had multiple people go, oh, it's not how you make, this place makes a better pineapple donut. I'm like, cool. Like, this is how I do it.
They always start off with back in Nam. It's just like,
Yeah, it's weird. But it's like a foreign concept that, oh, maybe you went somewhere else to get a donut from me. Like, it's weird.
The pineapple goes well, but like a lot of the old boys,
Yeah.
mate, they love that shit. They buy
Yeah.
like 6-packs of it.
Boomers-
But the only time
boomers
they'll
love
have
it.
a 6-pack.
Oh,
They love that
No,
shit.
legit.
boys.
Boomers love it.
Yeah, they sometimes like put it on their body and then they show us like, dude. Like, but
Later.
it's
Later.
like I didn't even like pineapple, and then I had Simon's pineapple donut. I was just like, God damn, that is a really good donut. The brown butter,
Yeah,
the
brown
butter's a
butter's the
gun.
second bestseller. That's a really popular one. It's a good one. I like
Wait,
that.
what's
more than
brown
strawberry.
butter?
So when you cook down butter, it caramelizes like the
Yeah.
milk solids. It gives it a nice nutty flavour. Like if you've ever cooked something on the frying pan, you've used unsalted butter.
Yeah.
And you need to cook it to that point where it browns.
Yep.
That's that part, and it develops that flavour.
Like a pancake. Like before I put the pancake on, you
Depends
put the
how
butter.
how far you're cooking the butter down. But
Yeah.
yeah, can do. But
You
it gives
fuck the
that
pancake if you
little
did that.
extra
Everyone does
flavour.
first one.
We make that into a glaze and get some Scotch finger on top, and it's really really good.
Okay.
That's up there with the strawberry. Like
Yeah,
strawberry
yeah.
and brown butter are the two best selling donuts here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's incredible considering I suppose everyone would probably just go chocolate or cinnamon or
I hate the chocolate. I shouldn't talk about my.
You shouldn't say that
I like
about-
the chocolate, but it's not a big seller.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
say it's a big seller. It
Rather-
sells, but it's not a.
Rather a block of Cadbury. But the strawberry, like seriously, I've had donuts everywhere around the world, and the strawberry donut is by far the best that I've ever had. And I think that's why the strawberry donut's such a good seller, because when you've got first-time customers, they use that as the benchmark, right? Because everyone knows what a strawberry donut tastes like. And then, you know, you see Simon get so, I guess, happy and enthusiastic because, like, they take this bite to the donut and their face just goes,
Yeah, I
Simon
do
sees
like
that reaction,
I do,
and it's
no,
the
and I'll tell
best.
you why. Because like you always get that little bit of imposter syndrome sometimes, right? It's like I have no background in this shit. I just learned how to do it, right? And like I know
You're a
my mates
speed
and everyone
skater.
says, everyone, my mates and that say it's good, but it's seeing people's genuine reaction like that. That's awesome, man. Like it really. gets me in the feels.
You get a lot of
Like,
people that will like go, that is the best donut I've ever had. And then you get those, like that's great when they tell you, but they're to your face. So again, there's always a little bit of, oh, they're just saying that. But like I've been walking up, not dressed up for the shop, like, and I've just heard people talking to each other, and that's the best donut I've ever had while I'm just walking past them. And like, that's genuine feedback. And then the Google reviews are just wild. I think
we've had a lot of
out
been
of
very fortunate.
420 reviews, I think we've had like 415 or 16 of them are 5-star reviews. One guy had a upset tummy.
Oh no.
Lactose intolerant and ordered a milkshake.
Yeah, dickhead. Absolutely.
And that's our fault.
Yeah.
It's like
Seriously.
the non-intolerant.
I found out where he lives as well. So, yeah, bro. Change it to a 5 or I'll sort you
Coming
out.
for you, bro.
Yeah. And then
Nah,
throw
but like
milk at
legit.
you.
No, but like Mark replied to the comment initially, and like it wasn't to the like he's like, basically, you sure there wasn't anything else you ordered that upset your stomach? Because like,
No, I had during the day. Like
Yeah,
I
like
said,
during the day?
is the donut
Yeah.
the only thing you've eaten all
and
day?
he responds, he's like, oh, I had a milkshake, and they do make me sick sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, why?
But no, legit, we found out where he lived, and then Simon and I went to a farm, probably the one that you sort of started riding motorbikes on.
Yeah, 100%.
And we cut a horse's head, and we literally put it in his bed. So
fair.
we think he got the message.
Yeah. He hasn't changed it back though yet.
no, we're still wearing that one.
Yeah.
He changed it to a 3-star though, so you know.
Oh yeah, he went from 1 to 3. So
Yeah.
Well,
maybe another horse's head, and we'll get up to
But
5.
you know the dumbest thing was after that though in the thing is like, but I'm going to recommend this place to my friends.
The kid hadn't hit puberty yet. Just give him a break. There's a lot going on.
Oh, so backhanded, but also
Yeah,
like,
no, it's-
Oh man, listen, you can't be something for everyone.
No, that's exactly right, you can't be.
We know that. We know that.
I still don't like getting shit reviews, but it's okay.
Oh, mate, I've seen him like in the corner crying, like shaking violently, like because we had a 1 star. It's like, don't worry about it, son. It's fine.
It's all right.
And we're gonna get it. You're gonna
It's
have
gonna happen.
there's gonna be competition that get their mates to put 1 stars. It's just the nature of the game.
Mm.
Like, but our goal is just to make sure that we give the best donut that we can and the best service that we can. And
100%.
every single person that works in this space is someone that enjoys the company of other people. And that's what you'll see on the comments as well. It's like, oh yeah, the donuts are great, but being able to have a chat to these guys and hang out is awesome because we literally love having those conversations. It's not a space where you rock up and we're having an off day. It's like every day is a fucking on day here.
Yeah.
And you know, that's because we actually genuinely enjoy talking to people and being a smart ass and having a laugh with people and all the rest of it. It's a fun vibe.
yeah. Otherwise, you wouldn't do it, right?
Nah.
No, it'd be shit.
Because customer service is hard, man. But it's like
Here it's easy.
yeah, that's the thing though. Like here, it's easy to do here. Like it's such a fun environment, and like
I guess it's
Doesn't
a
matter.
fun product.
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
But like it doesn't matter where people like if they rock up on cars or bikes or they come stumbling in from the pub. You know, it's fun. Like it's easy to talk to people.
Oh, there was this one time where there was these guys that came in from Source. They're like, oh, I'm like, oh, we're closed. I'm like, oh, do you mind if we come in and check out the cars and stuff? And they were a bit drunk, and there was like 2 or 3 of them. Right? I'm like, I can manage 2 or 3 guys. I'll take them all on. Nah, I'm like, it'll be fine.
Regularly.
And they were really
Back
nice,
to
right?
PPs now. Like, what are we
So,
doing?
so yeah. They weren't semi. Anyway, so I'm
sorry,
showing them.
Charles.
I'm showing them all the stuff. I'm showing them all the stuff, the cars and motorbikes, to be specific. And then about 10 more of these guys rock up, and there was a group of like 13 or 14 of them. And then I'm like, oh wow, this is out of hand. And then it somehow went down this path of I've got these what do you call them? They're like Nerf guns, but they're high powered Nerf guns, and like. This thing, it leaves bruises, right? They're not illegal because no one knows about them. They're not the they're not those.
Oh, the water ball
no,
things.
it's not
They're
those
not them,
things.
no,
They're
no.
just
This is like a
Nerf
Nerf
bullets.
gun, but like
I'll show you
assault
after
rifle,
this.
like
I'll show you after this. It's fucking epic. Anyway, and then literally it turned into this game where the boys were taking their shirts off and I was just smashing them with Nerf guns, and they were getting full welts. And I'm like, I did not expect that to go there, and that was the most fun I've had in a long time. Seriously, I smashed them with like 20 bullets. It was the bomb.
The 1 stars review got doing it.
No, seriously, like as a part of a challenge, we should get you guys. 20 meters.
Sure. Are we going to start a wall of like everyone with their backs up against the wall?
Oh man, it seriously hurts. It really hurts. It goes like 50 meters at like 300 kilometers an hour or some
Yeah,
shit.
like it's powerful.
Not 300. That's a lie. Probably
but it's
like
powerful.
299.
Like-
Yeah, we'll pull them out.
Yeah.
Anyway, next topic.
I think you've single-handedly destroyed me of eating any other donut
Well, that's a
on
good
the
thing.
planet
That's a good thing.
since I first came here. And the only reason I came here is because I was having dinner with a bunch of our car mates, and Sam, the photographer, just goes, "You need to go meet these guys. They run a donut shop
Sam
and
Law?
cause." Yeah, the
Oh,
time,
yeah. Legend. Like Sam.
And,
a good boy.
I couldn't work it out. I was like, "What do you mean?" It's like, "Dude, it's the coolest fucking thing ever. Go see it." And I did. Literally the next day I came here and I was like, "Holy fuck, this is the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life."
Did you leave a 5-star review though?
I did.
Oh,
I
sweet.
think because you asked me to.
Yeah. Oh, we did that a lot. So.
You called me.
Yeah.
I rocked up and you called me the Cine Gang because
I remember that.
That's where it comes from.
we rocked up and every single one of us bought cinnamon donuts.
Yep.
I'll never stop bringing it up. I really want cinnamon donuts.
Just tell me next time. I'll legit make you one. Like in 2 seconds.
And you called us the Cine Gang because we all pretty much just got the same order over and over and over again, and we did.
Did
managed
you
to.
turn it into a real gang though? Like
We call it
patches.
car culture.
Sure, you got stickers.
Sweet. Get a motorbike and you can be like the Cine Gang.
Yeah, pretty much. Patches on our
Cine
back.
Angels. I'm gonna get bashed.
But you single-handedly ruined me of eating any other donut at all because it just doesn't compare. Fuck Woolworths, fuck Coles, fuck Donut King, fuck all of that
Well,
stuff.
you'd be buying them from there to start with is beyond me. But anyway,
Yeah, it's
don't
true.
look. Don't. All fairness to Donut King, their cinnamon donuts and their cake donuts I actually really enjoy. I'm going to say that now.
When it's
I went
fresh.
past Donut King the other day. And
When it's fresh, yeah, 100%.
I went past Donut King the other day and I bought one and I brought it here and I gave it to Simon. He like smacked it out of my hand. I was recording the whole thing because it was just a piss take. But dude, it was $5.10. Like we get some people coming in here being like, oh, yeah, $6 is so expensive for donuts. Like, yeah, dude, trust me. Fucking your $6 donut doesn't pay the bills here anyway. But it's $5.10 for a donut at Donut King, and it is mass-produced shit.
Yeah, it's
like
wild.
it's mass-produced premix, whereas Simon's stuff is
You make
fresh
everything from
eggs,
scratch,
milk.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
everything. It's like it's a vegan's worst nightmare. It's epic, and it sucks that we can't. Again, back to the point, we can't be something for everyone. Our goal here is to make the best donut anyone in this world has ever had,
Yeah.
and to do that, we need to use ingredients that allow for us to do that. Un-vegan ingredients just don't fucking cut it.
Yeah, I get a lot of people like quite a few people ask for like gluten free and vegan stuff, and I'm like,
No.
look, I could, but it would be so much effort and like,
No.
yeah, basically, and like I get it. I've got a friend who's celiac, and she just pushes through. She'll still have one.
Good
she'll
girl.
just deal with it.
And
You
then
can
she
take those
pushes out.
enzymes.
It's
Enzyme tablets
she
now,
pushes
right?
out. It's disgusting.
No, but like my whole deal, like I don't want to fuck with the donut. Like a donut's not meant to be gluten free. It's not meant to be vegan. It's not meant to be.
It's not meant to be healthy.
No, it's fried. It's got shitloads of butter in it. Like it's meant to be enjoyed. It's a treat, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, live on podcast, you've never had. This is your first time being
That's
here.
it. Yep.
Now you understand why I keep
Have
coming
you not
back
had a
here.
donut?
get him a
here?
donut.
Yes.
Get him a donut. Get him
I
a
did
box.
want to try it, but he brought the box of donuts 2 days after he bought it. So I wasn't going to try something that's not fresh.
No,
I want to try it
yeah.
fresh
It would've been
Okay,
firsthand.
hang on. In my defense, I ate half of them. I ate 3 of them before I hit the end of King Street.
Was that
after
the
I
ones
bought-
you put in front of the R32? That was,
Yeah.
yes.
So he
that's
messaged
cool,
me,
yeah.
I'm coming
Yeah,
here
yeah.
to get donuts. I was like, so you swing by the shop before
Yeah,
you go
yeah.
home? No, he loops around the shop, brings it 2 days later.
You know why? It's probably because your dad was there and he was scared.
It's probably going to make me take my parts home.
Pull my pants off.
Oh, Chels.
Payments.
Chels or Dan, could you please grab
Yeah, grab
any
a grab a
donut?
box. They're all the same.
Any donut.
Bring box up.
Ah, let him have a choice.
That's all right. You can pick.
Throw it down. Throw it down on the table. Oh,
All right,
man.
so I'll run them through. So we've got a salted caramel. We'll
put the photo here.
Got a gay time, which is.
Do you want to
Mark's
hold it?
favourite.
Yeah, Tony, you have beautiful hands. Do you want to like?
That's the brown butter one.
Brown butter. Yep.
Yeah, chocolate OG and our baked cinnamon scroll, which I actually really love.
The cinnamon scroll is like cream cheese. It's
It's mad.
wild.
But
Yeah.
It's not a donut. It's a scroll.
I'd smash the brown butter. Man.
Brown butter one?
Yeah,
All right,
go
we'll
for
try
it.
that then.
These were freshly fried 12 hours ago.
Should we split into 4?
No, just smash it,
No,
bro.
no, no. They've eaten 4
Yeah,
today
I'm
already,
I'm
dude.
good, man. I get donuts every day.
I put on 10 kilos since we opened this space.
I
So
was
I'm not
gonna
fucking
say,
eating any donuts.
how the fuck are you guys managing?
Dude,
your weight?
I've got the distinguished
You
gentleman's
just
ride in a
completely
week and a
missed his
half.
reaction, but that's fine. I saw it.
You're the only one that cares, Simon, so it's fine.
Wow.
I'm gonna punish this right away.
I
I'm gonna
know it's
stuff it
really
with
good.
sweets.
Smash it, bro.
I'm gonna stuff it with
Simon,
sweets.
I know it's really
grab
good.
it,
I
have
don't
it
need to see
after.
reactions. I know how good they are.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, I've got Gentleman's Ride coming up in a week and a half, and I don't even fit into my fat suit. And I'm like, this is fucked. I was 98 kilos when we opened up the donut shop, and then I went up to like 115 kilos, and now I'm down to 110.
I had the opposite effect. I lost like 10.
What? Yeah.
Stress.
Yeah.
But no, it's all right. I'll put it back on.
It was those 1-star reviews.
Yeah.
Nervous breakdown.
Yeah, so now I'm like staying away from donuts for like, a few weeks. Well, a week and a half.
And have you?
Pardon?
No,
Have you?
You can't stay away.
Bro, I saw you
smashing a bit of the cinnamon scroll before.
Yeah, but it was like a slither. It was like the skin of a cinnamon
That's how it
scroll.
starts.
Yeah. No, I've been pretty good actually. And this is like water in here. So, which you could be able to tell because I spat half of it out whenever we were talking about whatever we were talking about.
Speaking of the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride,
Both.
how did that happen?
Oh, this is gonna be a long podcast, bro.
Yeah.
Let's say, what is it first?
I'll give you
some people don't know.
I'll give you the quickie. Are we seriously at 10 past? Wow, we're on fire. All right, welcome to the longest podcast ever.
Yeah.
Oh wow, an hour and 20.
all right, it's
All right, let's go to 140.
Go until we're done.
Yeah, that's it. I got into motorcycles. I was 25 actually because it was cars first, and it's always been sort of cars and then motorcycles. Anyway, motorcycles, and then basically I had no mates that rode motorcycles, so I thought, I'm so cool, I ride a motorbike, and I was like, actually, this is boring. And so I went to like a mechanic and I put a poster up, and I basically started up a motorcycle group called Sydney Cafe Racers, and the bike that I had was that one up there that I ended up nossing. Then it's a cafe racer, and it's a 1985 Yamaha SR 500, and brought this group together, and we just started riding, and then off the back of it, that group grew locally, internationally. There were multiple groups all around the world that we'd set up for enthusiasts that just wanted to connect, and it was not a moneymaker. It was just how do you bring people together that have a shared passion, and Facebook was right there. So it was ours for the taking, essentially. And I thought, how do you break the stereotype of motorcyclists being, I guess, negative, right? How do you break the stereotype that not every person behind the helmet is angry or one percenter or whatever else? And I thought, okay, cool. I saw this picture of Don Draper from the TV show Mad Men. And he was in a suit on a classic motorcycle for GQ magazine. I was like, oh, damn, that's sexy. I can do that. And literally 64 cities in the first year, 64 mates across social media said, hey, we'll host a Distinguished Gentleman's Ride in our city. And so by year one, we had 2,500 riders, 64 cities. I think it was about 15 countries. And it was just breaking a stereotype. And everyone had to wear suits, so they're all dappered up. Like the ladies are in dresses, the guys are, I was going to say dresses because I was going to be a smart ass, but I won't be. The guys were in suits, and it was just formal. It was all about going through the heart of each city globally, and sort of having chivalry and sort of being courteous and stopping and letting people cross the road and giving royal waves. It was just about showcasing a different style of ride than what people expected. Everyone sort of followed the road rules. And then in the second year, we started working with the Prostate Cancer Foundation Australia. We raised $250,000 for them that year. And from there, it kept on growing. It's we're now in our 13th or 14th year, and with the events in a week and a half's time, we're in over 1,000 cities this year on the same day.
That's great.
We're in over 105 countries, and we'll get about 120,000 riders. We'll raise probably $12 to $13 million for the Movember Foundation in Australia, and so far we've raised maybe 80 mil
Holy shit.
for prostate cancer research and male suicide prevention. So it's a big deal. And that all gets run from 7 Mitchell Street, Marrickville, if you want to find me. Come at me, brah. That sounded very like that dude that does food reviews.
Just don't.
What's his name? No, we're not in trouble. Yeah, and so we oversee those events globally, and then there's the Distinguished Gentleman's Drive. But again, so like I said, everything that we've done has always been based off community, building community, and supporting people. And it's cool that it's turned into a full-time job. It was never the intention, but it's also then cool to be able to build a space like this where, you know, when you sort of peel back those layers of the onion, it gets even deeper where you're creating these social connections with people. Because if there's anything that we found through COVID, it's that when you separate people, it was so much harder for those people to sort of deal with life, right? And I didn't realize how important even us doing that event was to people that don't see their mates in a year. Like, you know, people start having families, they stop riding motorbikes, they stop playing with cars because they've got to focus on having funds for the family. And their life is work and family. And then when their kids turn 18, they try and get back into this shit and they're like, oh shit, I've got no mates that are doing this anymore. And so, you know, DGR and DGD, the drive, for me, I started to realize that that was the way for them to get back into having those friendships and building those relationships with people. And Donut Garage is an extension of that, because this is a place where you can have someone that's massively lonely can rock up and just have amazing conversation with a complete random. And, you know, it's no different in Mantra to the events that we run in this space here. It's just that we've now been able to give people of Sydney a space to be able to do that. There were other places like, Collector in Leichhardt used to have a cool space where there were cars and coffee. You've got Benson, great space as well. Like, it's important, but there was nothing really in this part of Sydney. Like, I can't think of, you got Deus Motorcycles that have got a cafe, but that's not anything like this. Like, this is pretty much it.
Apart from like Liverpool Krispy Kremes or the airport Krispy Kremes, like
we've got memories.
I know, but like, where do people go?
This is where I go now. I don't even go to Krispy Kremes anymore.
and if it's like 2 o'clock in the morning and he's just keen, he just waits out the front until like 10. We just can't be that. Simon's actually used to work at Krispy Kremes, didn't she?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
In the van, waiting. Please.
In the little white van with pink stickers. It says donuts.
But that's pretty cool, man. Like, that's really, really impactful. Like, I think you're right in terms of like the community and the sense of well-being, and something, I guess, like a path that people need to go find, because like you said, these guys work so hard building, I guess, an epicenter of like their whole life. And then when that goes and finishes, you're like, oh fuck, now what I do?
Yeah. It's starting fresh again. It's starting fresh again for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But even then, I mean, DGR, we've had, I keep using the acronym because anyway, it saves time, but I just wasted that time. It's, you've got people that have met at DGR and been married at DGR like a few years later. Like, there are literally people that have formed relationships through that event, and then they've had their wedding like an hour after DGR, and people then come to their wedding. It's cool. I've got photos from like even in Santorini where people got married at DGR. It's cool, man. It's cool seeing those relationships. And even I got a message that I got today from a guy called his name was Tom Hay. He said, "Hey Mark, I took part in the event in 2015, and you were riding in LA, and it was a pleasure to meet you. But I just want to let you know that all my friendship circle in LA at the moment is all based off that ride and meeting people that I've met through DGR." And that's pretty special, man. Like, for a person to say that their whole friendship circle is founded off that event, it's important to a lot of people for a lot of different reasons.
Yeah. Belonging.
Yeah, 100%.
It's awesome.
Everyone wants to belong, mate. Everyone wants someone to talk to, unless you're Simon.
So I can't like antisocial or something.
He's very antisocial.
Pretty sociable.
Nah, he's
I like a
social.
good chat.
Yeah. He has to be drunk.
But it's
He
like,
keeps on putting vodka in the slushies just to be able to converse with people.
nah, me drunk something else. So it's,
Oh, yeah, that's next level. That's mad. I love it. I miss drunk Simon. It's been a while.
doesn't have, I got a family now. I don't get out much.
Yeah.
What time do you open this shop?
it
To
opens-
make the donut, sorry.
Oh, so someone's here from 6
right.
to start the process. But we open at 10. But we should probably shift those hours forward a little bit to try and catch that morning rush. But
No one wants to wake up earlier.
dude, I woke up early like all my life. I'm like, I just want to sleep in.
Done.
Literally, it's like historic nights. The event happens at nighttime on a Thursday because none of us can be fucked waking up early and going to a car show on Sunday.
Yeah. As much as I'd love to, but I just can't.
Where have you heard that before, Tony?
Man.
Come to Historic Nights, man.
I like
It
that.
starts at 6 p.m. and finishes at 9. So it's like for us old timers, it's like straight to bed, man. Straight to
Perfect
bed.
timing.
Yeah. We have a little tea with our little Scotch finger donut biscuit, brown butter, and then that's it. We're in bed together. It's awkward.
Speaking of the culture, historic nights, and something to finish off on, could we ever have a cool evening event here, or not even an event, just like private chill out sessions at nighttime? Is that ever going to be a thing here at Donut Garage? Kind of like the old school Krispy Kremes or whatever, but
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, for you specifically, yes, just you.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
yourself.
yeah,
You've
yeah.
asked.
We'll give you a key. You
Just
can
rock
hang
up
out.
when we're closing, man, and I'll let you in. We'll be sweet.
sit
You were
here on
having
the
this.
sim
You were
all
having
day.
this conversation with someone today.
Yeah. No, like I would like. I think it would be a good idea for us to try and get some extended hours and try and do a night thing, at least on like a Friday or Saturday night, where it gives somewhere for people to go, like take their cars out of a night, go for a cruise, get some dinner, like go get some dinner somewhere, and then cruise through here for a coffee and a donut and chill out, have a laugh, have a look around, play the games, like just a fun space where you're just going to meet other like-minded people, really.
yeah.
So
The longer part of that answer is you need to put a DA in, you need to get
Yeah,
council
yeah,
approval.
yeah.
There's a whole heap
it's not
of
as easy as just
paperwork.
saying, yeah, we're going to open later. But we
But
have to.
we
have to
will
put
do
in
it.
for extended
We will
hours.
do it, especially if you're going to manage it.
Yeah, 100%.
If you're going to manage it and this is your baby, you're going to be like, yeah, come to Donut Garage, Car Culture are doing this.
We have though.
We'll do
We have though done a couple of like sneaky cruise nights from here.
Oh, yeah.
Where we've just posted on our socials, and we've had really good turnout.
Mate, awesome cars as well.
Yeah,
like
it's
wild
just,
cars.
Yeah, it's nice. We get a mix of. That's the best thing about here is you never know what's going to turn up. Like we're not just stuck to one brand. Everyone brings something different.
Dude,
Like,
there was a
it's just-
scooter gang that was here when I
Yeah.
rocked up one day, like 30 scooters. And I
Yeah.
was like, wow.
dude. It's wild.
I saw you laughing. Yeah, 'cause you were the opposite of scared when you saw him. Scooter boys. Nah, they're cool. And back to what Simon was saying, yeah, we have done events here where like we had a ride out which was probably about 100 riders and sort of took people through to La Perouse in the eastern suburbs. That was super cool. We did a drive down to Kurnell and through the little national park up there, and that was about 25 to 30 cars. And so we want to do that stuff monthly. It's the problem for us is our monthly is every 5 months because it was literally December and January that we did the last one.
Well, none of our cars work, so
Yeah,
mine,
it's disappointing.
mine are pretty unreliable. But yeah, but it's no, it's
These are our privileged problems, having a place
I
to
know.
store all these vehicles, having so many of them, looking like we make so much money. They're like, oh shit, nothing works. I literally think there's only one car.
what works.
I guess the Cosmo's the only car that really works
Yeah,
here.
look, that's only the real reliable one. I'll be honest, and it's funny because it's the rotary.
It's 10A, first ever Mazda rotary, and it's the
Yeah.
only one that's reliable. But like, if
Yeah.
you tried to start any of these cars in here right now, you would only get that Cosmo started.
I
Wow,
reckon
that's
I reckon if
disgusting.
your race car was charged, it would start.
Yeah, but it'd have to be charged. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, the red one.
Yeah,
yeah. I think sick, man.
I think it is fucking
It's the flamethrower. It just shoots the best flames. And
I
now
hate,
with
I hate it at the same time though.
yeah, and now with the
Every
sequential
time-
box though.
every time he races though, and it must be me because every time I'm at the track with it, I'm covered in gear oil. Whether it be axle seals, gearbox, there's always something.
Yeah.
Wild.
His
So
semi
frustrating.
PP is completely
Yeah.
covered in oil.
Yeah.
Like he's just covered head to toe.
Nah, dude, like legit. I'm legit covered in gear oil every time on that car.
Yeah.
And I hate gear oil. Hate it.
Oh, don't you love that too?
Oh, but it just does random shit. And it does random shit that I'll fix something and then something that I haven't touched will fuck up.
Yeah.
Like I could understand if if I fix something and that's fucked up, that's my fault. I'll wear that. But like all of a sudden I decided to start pushing axle seals out. So all right, no worries. I fixed one. It pushed out one. Fixed that. Other side went. Like how? Like,
And we were
other
in
side-
Winton racing.
Yeah, we're in Winton.
So far away.
Yeah, and we had to run around everywhere trying to find a bearing because like there was bearing shit everywhere.
Yeah.
and it was just
Yeah, Burson Auto Parts isn't going to
I
come save the day at that
literally
point.
literally got that car on the track a minute before the cut off.
But this is the thing, and he gets upset about it. He's talking about it like he's all angry.
I know.
Look at the
only,
smile.
but
I'm
the
smiling while
only
I'm saying it,
memories we are ever going to keep
Yeah.
until the grave is when shit goes wrong.
Yeah.
I don't remember the fucking drive or the ride where everything
No,
was
no.
rosy and it was amazing and it was fucking pretty. I remember this shit breaking down or breaking a leg or fucking busting an axle seal. And in 20, 30 years' time, like we remember the times that we go for a drive or a ride in the rain and you get pelted with hail. I don't remember any sunny rides. Fucking, well, I don't have the memory for it, but I don't remember any sunny rides.
It's always the eventful ones.
Yeah.
But it's funny. Every time I'm not at the track with that car, runs flawlessly.
Oh, it's so good. So
Nothing
I literally
ever
don't.
happens.
I literally don't use him as pit crew anymore
Like, don't
because
come.
literally nothing breaks when he's not there. It's so weird.
I know.
Actually, no, I snapped an axle last race. You weren't there.
But I wasn't there, but yeah, that was funny. The first race, the gear was like, dude, he was so lucky. The gearbox in that thing, the sump plug for the gearbox is like right at the back, and the mount just sits right across the back of it. The bolt was all the way out, and the only thing that was stopping it from falling was the mount. It was the gearbox mount, and it was like as soon as I removed the gearbox mount, it just fell out. And it would have lost. That would have completely grenaded his box.
Even the last race that we had, like we were performing actually really well. We got a heap of spots. We had to start at the back of the pack for whatever reason earlier in the race, and we sort of built our way up. And then I sort of dropped the clutch and I snap an axle, and I'm just like, oh fuck, this car's not moving. And I just look in the rearview mirror and I just see I'm like Moses, right? And the cars are just like going on each side of me. I'm just looking, and there's that one car that goes, oh, there's an opportunity here. And then I'm like seeing this car just come so close to me and then just take off. And I was able to, anyway, no one hit me, which I was stoked about. And I was able to nurse it sort of through corner one. And then I got stuck at there's the flag marshals just there. I got really bored while waiting for the race to finish so that I could sort of get the car towed out. And I ended up in my underwear with a witch's hat. And while the boys were doing the last lap, I'm just standing there on the side of the road doing this. And then, it was pretty fun. That was probably the highlight of my racing career right there. Having a witch's hat over my semi-PP.
Okay, well, on
We
that
can just
note,
cut that whole section out. Like that section doesn't even need to
MVP
exist.
podcast.
Yeah. We're going to start our own podcast to compete with you guys. Yeah, welcome to the semi-PP.
I think before you throw any more sexual innuendos at us,
I was just talking about a peripheral report, man. I don't know where your brain's going, dude.
So inappropriate.
Yeah, you guys are terrible.
Is there any closing things that you would want to say just on this pod, or anything that you guys actually want to promote, something that's coming up? Obviously, you got World Time Attack,
Yeah.
you got all that type of stuff going on. Is there anything that you would just love the people to know ending this podcast?
Yeah, Simo's got a semi.
They know that.
Between
No,
the
that's pretty
hours.
much the most important thing I had to cover. So, Simon, on you.
Not really, to be honest.
World Time Attack.
World Time Attack.
Historic
obviously.
Nights.
Yeah, got Historic Nights. What else we got coming up?
That's it.
For now, there are we're gonna do it. We're gonna do a Shannon's bike. There's a bike show
Oh,
at
yeah,
Shannon's.
yeah.
We're gonna be doing in the next couple of months.
But folloll us on socials. I mean,
Yeah,
we'll
follow
put
us.
everything up.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
put everything up on
We post
Instagram.
frequently, but yeah.
So,
which is
Donut
Donut
Garage,
Garage.
official.
Yep.
Yeah, don't type in unofficial because then it's not official. But we'll literally start doing the monthly rides and drives again. I had shoulder surgery, so that sort of slowed everything down a little bit. But it's been 6 months now, so we'll get straight back into that. And by all means, come check out the space. Give us 5 stars, give us 1 star, whatever.
Grab a donut, have a chat.
Watch
Check out
Simo
some
punch
cars.
holes in the donut.
You got to get in early for that one.
He uses his semi-PP.
Well, on that note, boys, thank you so much for joining us. on
Can't
this,
take you anywhere.
I just love that your crew are like in stitches laughing.
Thank you so much for joining us, boys. It honestly means the world to Tony and I to actually have you on this show. It's the first of many big things happening this year for us. I guess, especially in this month, we launch everything this month. All of our shows, everything we've been working really hard on for the past year and a half, all releases this month. So
wow.
to actually have you guys a part of the culmination of what we've been doing and what we're about, which is just simply car culture around Australia, this is sick, man. So thank you.
We appreciate it
Yeah,
as well.
100%. Like it's nice. It's nice to know you guys want us on. So like my wife doesn't even like talking to me. So like, you know.
And you guys also popped his cherry as well.
Yeah, I got my cherry popped.
Yep.
Yeah, he's never done a podcast before. So
that's
you,
why
you
I've
guys
got
and
the
his wife have
semi-PP.
something in common.
I've been sitting here with a semi-PP the whole time.
BP podcast.
Yeah.
But no, honestly, thank you guys for letting us run the podcast here.
Nah, dude, anytime.
And then doing what you guys do, because it's like what you guys keep saying is the culture. It's not about the cars. It's not about the bikes. It's not just about what do you do for work. It's about the love for these hobbies.
Common interest, man. It's just,
That's what we see missing nowadays. Like everyone's just about,
100%.
I've built this, I've built that. And that's what they're showing off. Like
Yeah.
here, we're trying to connect, make friends, make lasting relationships. It's
100%. Like, we don't care what you own here. Like, if you love it, man, we're enthusiasts. We've always been enthusiasts.
Yeah.
And no matter what you have, what you ride, what you drive, whatever.
Yeah, but that's because
what you
we're
do in
weird.
life. Yeah,
we like
but,
cool
like,
shit,
it's
but we
just-
also like weird shit.
Yeah.
So we sort of cover all the categories.
Yeah, but like people like what they like, and like people will absolutely love their cars or their bikes or whatever, and it's like you can appreciate as an enthusiast, you appreciate that because you have the same thing for your shit.
You sound like a Shannon's advert.
Maybe they can hire me. No, but it's true, but and like everyone has that shared passion, and it's good. That's what should. That's what
Did you just say share the passion?
share the passion. I said shared passion.
Oh, okay, just making sure. It's definitely sponsored by Shannon's.
Am I?
I mean, they did.
Can I-
That's how they're running the event there.
Yeah, this is my Monaro. G-O, G-G-O.
I got a problem with my Google mobile.
Could we go down?
Oh, only a select few are going to know what that means.
I know, show my age right there.
Oh, God.
Just Google it. Go Bill. G-O.
No, seriously, thank you, boys. I appreciate it. Tony, do you want to sign us out?
Thank you guys for running the podcast here again. If you guys want to support the boys here, Donut Garage on all social medias, they post awesome content and fucking make amazing donuts because I can't wait to fucking crack through those right after this finishes. You want to follow us, we're all over social media as well, Car Culture Australia. And like Tom said earlier, fucking everything is getting released this month. There's heaps of stuff, like podcast shows.
Green screen shows, podcast shows, track car build shows, a science show, a freaking everything.
The boys getting shot with a Nerf gun show is going to be showing as well.
Yeah, we can do that.
No, I'm dead serious. I'm pulling the cut out now.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's a YouTube short right there.
So on that note, thank you guys for making it to the end. And until
Sweet.
next time, bye.
Cheers,
Thank
boys.
you.
Thanks, boys.